So last year, we had a big announcement that blessed us with 4 new farming sim titles in Marvelous Games Showcase. Among these, we have all been waiting for it, a new sequel for our beloved Story of Seasons, formerly known as the Harvest Moon franchise. And what can I say? I am both thrilled and a little bit anxious at the same time. If we look at their last mainline game, Pioneers of Olive Town, there are plenty of things that I would have wanted differently. And there are just as many unique features from much older classic Story of Seasons titles that I would love to see return or be innovated upon instead. Some of these ideas could be somewhat unlikely, but nevertheless, today I am sharing with you my ideal features for a future Story of Seasons ranked from least to most wanted. I know we all have very different playstyles and preferences, so feel free to disagree and let me know your perspective on this as well. You can also drop your personal ranking down there in the comment section. But without further ado, let's get right to it. If you are an avid Story of Seasons player, you would know that in the majority of their games, we could actually pet, feed, and befriend wild animals to get special items from them. So we would just go to the forest and visit them every day. But why stop there? They are so adorable. I basically want to pick them up, bring them home, and keep taking care of them on my farm every day. I know, please don't come at me for that. Kids, it is bad to remove wild animals from their natural habitat. Please don't do this at home. But my friends, this is the beauty of a game. Anything can be possible and it does no harm. Just like back then in Harvest Moon Animal Parade, if we could gradually earn trust with a variety of adorable wild animals and keep them safe on our farm in a future Story of Seasons game, it would add another layer of challenge to our gameplay that could make our farm life experience a bit more fresh than just the usual buying animals from a farm for cash. Have you ever restarted your farm life over and over again because you love the blank canvas, the sheer nothingness, peace, and silence of your unestablished farm? Nothing to do but greet the villagers every day, do a bit of foraging, and water your 9 starter crops? No? Because this was real relaxation that I'm talking about. But the more we grind, the more farm animals we get, the more crops we plant, our days are getting busier and busier. And in the end, we find ourselves utterly overwhelmed by the amount of tasks that we feel we have to get done in a single, fast-paced day. But fret not, my friends. Imagine if Story of Seasons implemented a day-length slider that would let us determine exactly how long or short we want our day to be. That would just be paradise. I mean, other games have already done it, so why not? And I just love the idea of letting the player decide how much time they would like to spend in a day, as we all have different playstyles and preferences after all. A day-length slider would at least make my farm life so much more relaxing, as it is supposed to be in a cozy farming sim. Now, let me get a little nostalgic and channel my inner grandma by saying, it was so much better in the old days. You know what I'm talking about? Character portraits. It might be a controversial debate and some players might not see the necessity in them, as we did already have Story of Seasons titles without 2D sprites before, and we did enjoy playing them. But this is a small but impactful feature for me that I do not want to miss any longer. Yeah, 3D animations and expressions are cute and all, but why not combine both 3D and add a little artistic 2D charm to the mix? It might be just me, but hand-drawn 2D anime art can be just so expressive and vivid, and it can give the characters even more personality. I don't think the 3D expressions ever came close to that so far. But of course, I am open to being proven wrong too. Maybe the devs can step up their 3D character model game after all. But until then, I will remain strong in my stance. 2D sprites are just so pretty. Please bring them back. I have already criticized the Pioneers of Olive Town enough, but I can't help but feel that this needs to be said anyways. please don't go the same direction and focus so much on productivity and maker machines. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate crafting in games. In fact, I do enjoy having more functions and items locked behind a few item fetch quests and tasks. It feels rewarding and gives you a sense of achievement to unlock more as you progress through a game. However, when a game artificially extends our gameplay time by making us grind for the same items repeatedly, and I find myself just running in circles, waiting for something to be processed or for something to respawn, I really end up losing motivation and I can't see it as enjoyable anymore. In essence, I just want the game progression to feel more natural. It would be great if we discovered items naturally as we explore the world and then got to unlock more items and features with fewer resources. I don't mind going back to a location a few more times for some grinding, but please make it a little less tedious and reduce the enormously long production chain of the same looking makers, because quite frankly, they are just an ugly sight to behold on our farm. Often, I wish that farming sims let us individualize our virtual life a little bit more. Granted, many games have started giving us much more freedom of expression when it comes to character creation and customization, but what about tailoring our farm life experience according to what we enjoy the most? If you are a Stardew Valley player, you are already familiar with this concept. The option to choose from a range of different farm layouts that specialize in certain activities so that we can shift our gameplay focus to something that we really enjoy. Harvest Moon: A Tale of Two Towns has also done this. Do you like ranching and taking care of animals? Then move to Bluebell Town. Or do you prefer gardening and harvesting crops? Then Konohana Town is for you. I am not asking for multiple towns to choose from, though if I am completely honest, I'd actually be so greedy to have that option. But I mean, at the very least, I'm asking for a few simple starter farm layouts. Because let's be honest, do you truly enjoy absolutely every mundane task in a farming game? Okay, well, maybe you actually do, and that's honestly impressive. But for me, there is just something special about focusing on only a few passions, instead of trying to multitask all of them at once. Also, imagine just how lovely our farm would look like with a more personalized layout that highlights our playstyle personality. Do you remember a DLC over DLC getting released for Pioneers of Olive Town? If it wasn't already painful enough needing to pay for an extra pass just to welcome a bunch of hot characters returning to our game, it was also done in the worst way possible. At first, you'd think having extra worlds to expand on the main town would be a good thing, and generally I would agree. But why did it need to feel so extremely disconnected? Not only were these worlds completely empty with nothing to do in them, they also confined the new characters in them, with no means to communicate with the outside town and its villagers. Please give us multiple worlds back, but let them actually be intertwined with one another. I don't even mind if it came out as a DLC, as long as the devs made sure that the characters stayed connected and actually interacted with each other. Let the towns have trading relationships with one another. Let them celebrate festivals together. Let them shine, each with their own unique culture, food, and vegetation, just like they did in one of my favorite Story of Seasons, Trio of Towns. If we had something like that, the world building in a future Story of Seasons would be so much better and could include so much more history and lore, and even opportunities to incorporate more regional food items, resources, and exploration in the gameplay. Unfortunately, I think it's highly unlikely we're going to be getting a feature like this, but a girl can dream, right? Lastly, I am once again asking for a classic and absolutely iconic feature to return. We already got a little taste of it in the remake Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life. But now let's take exactly that and put it in the next Story of Seasons mainline title. If there is any feature that I absolutely adored, it is seeing your virtual child grow, helping them choose a life path, and possibly having them take over the farm. And why stop there? Why have only the kids grow up when we can have the entire village grow older and gain experience over time? Let farming sims reflect our adaptable human nature more and show us players how we can grow stronger and wiser over time and how we can learn from our mistakes. Heck, let's even include a villain and give them a redemption arc. This would not only greatly contribute to the world feeling a whole lot more alive, but also completely enrich and expand the range of possibilities for a character's backstory and their friendship or romance scenarios. Yes, we need a rival marriage from Friends of Mineral Town back. Of course, it might sting if our virtual crush gets snatched away by someone else, but sometimes timing is everything. And while it might sound a little harsh for a farming sim, I just don't want the world to feel hollow anymore. I want every NPC to make their own decisions and lead their virtual lives to the fullest, not just our protagonist. I agree, there is comfort in things never changing, but there is just something so precious in the fleeting beauty of a moment. And this is why there is nothing that I would love more than growing old again with my favorite 2D soulmate in the next Story of Seasons entry. Please, definitely let me know your thoughts on this, even if your ideas don't align with mine. I always enjoy chatting with you guys, and I truly appreciate you interacting with me. But this is everything from me for now. Have a lovely day, my friends, and see you in the next video.